Hi there, everybody. Welcome to another album review. My name is Christian Eschbach. Today's album is going to be Iron Butterfly's Heavy. Iron Butterfly, for starters, probably one of the most underrated, unknown metal bands. There's always the who started heavy metal, who was the first heavy metal band. Okay, everybody usually agrees the first true heavy metal band was Black Sabbath. I would argue Iron Butterfly was definitely metal before Sabbath was. This album in particular, original release was 1968. This album is before the legendary In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida. Everybody knows In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida. There's always the talk about the, 10-minute drum solo, blah, 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 blah. This album predates that. This album also, technically, I think is superior to the In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida album. So let's get into it. What do you say? First off, Iron Butterfly, like every album, has a major lineup change in the band. This particular band, Doug Ingle on vocals and organ, Daryl Deloche, vocals, tambourine, percussion, Danny Weiss, guitar, Jerry Penrod, bass and vocals, and Ron Bushy on drums. Vocals, multiple vocalists. There's a reason why they say multiple vocalists, because on different songs there are different people singing. That is one thing with Iron Butterfly that definitely would throw off your casual listener, is the fact that you can have a different vocalist on different songs, so different songs can sound a little different. For the most part, you don't always notice when it switches from vocalist to vocalist. But let's get into the songs. What do you say? First off, this album is very much influenced by life with women, dealing with women, living with women, both the good and the bad on both fronts of that, both the positive and the negative for both the male and the female. The reason why I say this is the very first song on the album is called Possession. It's literally a song about a possessive man, and why a man is possessive towards a woman. And not that it's trying to justify it. It's just, it's a man saying, a man's going to be like this for selfish reasons, it's a good song. It really is. Good tune. It kicks the album off really, really well. From there, we move into Unconscious Power. Unconscious Power is one of those songs. It's a great album cut. You're not going to. It doesn't stand out in a mix, but it really sits there nicely in the mix. Like, it flows well in the album. There's not too much to it. Like, I can't go on too much. From there, we go to Get On My Life Woman. The other side of it, where, dude's tired of putting up with the garbage that, comes with certain types of women that tend to not be supportive, we'll say. So that's what Get Out of My Life Woman is. Once again, another great song. I like all the changes that are in there, because it really reflects the 60s with, how to do stops and starts, and just the instrumentation, the whole way around. Very 60s hippie vibe. It really is. It's a California hippie vibe. The whole album. But once again, this is California, and this is definitely predecessor to what was going to turn into heavy metal. Next song, Gentle As It May Seem. Same thing, very, very hippie, free flowy, gentle as it may seem. You ain't what I do. It's just kind of that whole vibe. But I do. But I do. It's just kind of like that the whole way through. Great song, kind of like, you get that kind of jazz snap kind of influence going on it. Really good fun. It really is. You Can't Win. Really just kind of song of the time, just no matter what you do, you can't win, It's that hard luck kind of song, Moving on. Solo. Solo, SO hyphen LO. Um, really kind of. This is a song I could have seen Typo Negative possibly covering. It's just got kind of that vibe. Like, there's a lot of that organ in here. And realistically, I'm surprised Typo Negative never did a Iron Butterfly cover, because a lot of the stuff that Peter Steele was into is a lot of stuff that lyrically, you'd find in an Iron Butterfly album, especially on this particular album. Solo is one of those songs, really, really heavy on the organ, ambiance, kind of gloomy, kind of takes you into a bit of a darker place. After that goes into Look for the Sun. Great. Once again, you're kind of flowers, beads, outside, sunshine. We're back into the hippie kind of stuff. But it's always heavy. This is the thing with Iron Butterfly. It's hippie, but it's heavy hippie. Like, I mean, if Black Sabbath was like the dark side of metal, Iron Butterfly would have been like the light side of metal, and not to say Christian metal. Let's not get that confused there, okay? No, but just kind of the two sides of that spectrum, Fields of Sun keeps going with that, very kind of gloom, doom, but happy-ish. It's kind of hard to go with. Stamped Ideas is one of those songs where, if you were watching it, you blink, you miss it. It comes in just over 2 minutes. And because of the way Fields of Sun works, and then the last song on the album works, Stamped Ideas just kind of feels like it's a bridge song in between. Just kind of to give it that natural, nice progression and flow the whole way through. And then going to the last song on the album, it's actually my favorite Iron Butterfly song. It's called Iron Butterfly Theme. It's an instrumental piece. It's fantastic. First off, for me, when you close out an album, the last song on that album has to be spectacular. It has to be something that makes me want to come back for more. That last song on the album has to make me want to go out and buy the next album. That's how I feel about it. Previous album, I've already covered Alice Cooper's Killer, for example. The actual song Killer makes me want to go out buy the next album, because like, wow, you finished the album like that. Oh my god, I want the next album. Well, that's how I feel about Iron Butterfly Theme. Iron Butterfly Theme is just this amazing instrumental piece that it really picture. Okay, you got Blue Oyster Cult, who did Godzilla, and they capture Godzilla, right? The whole okay, so you get the whole idea where I'm going there. Iron Butterfly Theme to me would be Mothra. You're listening to this, and it's like Mothra is coming in to like just decimate and take care of it. It's the end where the army's taking out the giant butterfly. You listen to it at the end of the song. If I remember correctly, from what I've read over the years, at the end you hear a tapping out of Morse code on the keyboard, and I believe it's SOS they're tapping out. I don't remember 100%, or it's something like that. There's actually a legitimate message in the code that's being tapped out. Something myself I've actually personally used in a song that I had part to do with. I actually started typing out Morse code message. Because it was such a cool idea. It really is. And this was the first band I've ever heard of ever do something. I'm sure other bands have done it, let's face it. It's a creative idea, but it's not like a whole woo, boom, mind-blowing, altering idea, right? But this album alone is one of those ones where it upsets me that they're not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And this is one of those reasons why I call Shenanigans still on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. This band should be in there. They should be in there. Led Zeppelin's in there. Black Sabbath's in there. Deep Purple's in there. Iron Butterfly should be in there. This album alone, to me, shows why they should be in there. The influence they created. Now, this is not the big monster release album. In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida, which I hate to say, basically made Iron Butterfly a one-hit wonder. Is why they're never going to get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But they really should, because this is a band worth checking out. If you have never heard Iron Butterfly Heavy, please go listen to Iron Butterfly Heavy. It's a fantastic album. If you love Inagata Vita, I really do suggest you listen to this album. It really also short review because it really is kind of a short album. Most of the songs, like realistically, back in the day, it was rare to have a song that goes over. If you wanted a song on the radio, 2 minutes 45 seconds was the maximum. 3 minutes 30 seconds was usually a good album cut, but you probably wouldn't get it on the radio. Anything over that was gratuitous exploration. On this album, the songs that are in the 2 minute range, and there's a couple of them between 2 and 3 minutes, they feel like they're the exact same length as the songs that are 4 minutes. The album, there's 10 tracks to the album. The album feels like it could be anywhere from 20 minutes to 40 minutes. It's hard to tell depending on what you're doing when you're listening to the album. If you're just intently listening to the album, it clocks in at about a solid 30 minutes, which is cool. But once again, go give it a listen. It's really worth it. Other than that, as always, love you all. Peace and take care.